Epilogue. After the vows, a love that outlived the spotlight. Welcome to PTM News Star. Breaking news. No one expected this day to actually come. After years of chemistry, endless rumors, and millions of fans secretly hoping, it finally happened. Wang and Bai Lu are officially married. In the weeks following the wedding, the world seemed to move slower for fans of Wang and Bai Lu. The headlines faded, the hashtags cooled, and yet the warmth of their story lingered, like the afterglow of a sunset you can still feel even after the light disappears. What was once just an on-screen pairing had become a cultural moment. People didn't just celebrate a celebrity marriage, they celebrated resilience, patience, and the idea that genuine connection can survive fame's most unforgiving tests. When the cameras turned away, Dylan and Bai Lu retreated quietly into the kind of privacy that fame rarely allows. No public honeymoon photos, no press appearances, just silence. The good kind, the kind that feels like peace. Sources close to the couple described their early married life as beautifully ordinary. They were seen grocery shopping in a quiet district of Hangzhou, sipping tea at a lakeside cafe, and walking hand in hand under the drizzle, scenes so gentle they could have been written by life itself. For years, both had been characters in other people's stories, directors' visions, screenwriters' fantasies, fans' projections. Now, they were finally writing their own script. The legacy of Fairy and Devil. Their legacy began long before the vows. Love between Fairy and Devil was never just a drama. It was a moment in modern Asian television, a collision of myth and modern emotion. It bridged language barriers, transcended fandom rivalries, and inspired an entire generation of new storytellers. University professors cited it in lectures on emotional realism in fantasy. Cosplayers recreated its scenes in cities from Bangkok to Buenos Aires. Couples used its theme song in their weddings. And now, with the real-life union of its leads, the story has found a poetic symmetry. Film critics called it art completing itself. Others compared it to the era of classic Hollywood romances, when screen partners like Hepburn and Tracy blurred the line between art and life. But what makes Dylan and Bai Lu's story uniquely powerful is the timing. They found each other at a moment when celebrity love stories are often transactional, fleeting, performative. Theirs felt different, patient, evolving, human. The fan impact. When the wedding news broke, fan communities across the world responded not with the chaos typical of celebrity gossip, but with something pure: joy. In Manila, fans organized a flash mob dance under the hashtag From Fairy to Forever. In Seoul, someone projected their wedding photo on a downtown LED billboard with the message, "Real love survives edits." Charity groups inspired by the couple's humanitarian values raised money for children's hospitals, calling their campaign Wings of Light, after Bai Lu's character. Even global platforms took notice. Netflix Asia released a statement congratulating the couple and announced a special re-airing of Love Between Fairy and Devil with behind-the-scenes commentary. Within 48 hours, the drama re-entered the top 10 in multiple countries, 3 years after its debut. But beyond numbers, the most touching reactions came from ordinary fans. Letters poured in, handwritten, emotional, filled with stories of how watching the drama helped them through loneliness, heartbreak, or grief. One message read, "I lost my husband 2 years ago. Watching Dylan and Bai Lu reminded me what it felt like to love again." When they got married, it felt like hope was reborn. For these fans, Dylan and Bai Lu were no longer just actors. They were proof that emotional honesty still has a place in a world of digital filters and performative perfection. A love rewritten in silence. Since their marriage, both stars have chosen a remarkably low profile. Their social media presence, once meticulously curated, has softened. Posts are fewer, simpler. A photo of a stray cat Dylan adopted. A shot of Bai Lu's garden, captioned only with a heart. Insiders say they live part-time in Shanghai, but often escape to the countryside to avoid the rush. There, they garden, cook, and write. Dylan, who once spoke about wanting to direct, is reportedly working on a short film inspired by how love changes when no one is watching. Bai Lu, always introspective, has been sketching again, something she gave up when her acting schedule became relentless. Friends describe their home as filled with music and quiet laughter. No luxury excess, just the small rituals that make a house feel lived in. 2 mugs left drying by the sink, matching scarves hanging by the door, a cat napping on a windowsill. Their story feels like a gentle rebellion against fame's demands, a refusal to turn intimacy into content. The cultural echo. Months after the wedding, journalists began calling the event China's royal romance. But unlike those grand spectacles of the past, this one felt intimate, built not on spectacle, but on substance. Their decision to keep things understated has started shifting public perception of what celebrity love should look like. Younger actors have cited Dylan and Bai Lu as role models, not just for their craft, but for how they've balanced authenticity and artistry. A new wave of dramas has emerged with subtler, more emotionally honest storytelling, a quiet revolution fans attribute to the fairy and devil effect. Even global media, from Variety to Elle Asia, hailed their union as a cultural milestone in the evolution of C-drama romance. The narrative that began as myth has now entered folklore, a modern legend of 2 people who blurred fiction and life so seamlessly that the world collectively sighed in relief when it turned out to be real. Quiet mornings, golden evenings. Now, in interviews, rare as they are, both speak softly about gratitude. Dylan once said during a fan meet, "People think we live extraordinary lives. But the truth is, happiness is in the quiet mornings, making breakfast, hearing her laugh, feeding the cat." Bai Lu, when asked how marriage changed her, smiled and said, "It made me less afraid to rest." Love is also learning to slow down. These words resonated across social media. Perhaps because they felt grounded. In an age of endless rush, here were 2 people reminding the world that real love doesn't chase the light. It creates it. Their shared future. Industry insiders believe the couple will return to acting, but on their own terms. There are whispers of a co-production in Europe, a romance film inspired by parallel universes and promises. If it happens, it'll be their first screen reunion as a married couple, a poetic full circle. But even if they never act together again, their story has already transcended the screen. Their marriage has become a metaphor, not just for romantic love, but for endurance, for the courage to wait, and for the belief that destiny sometimes takes the long way home. In the words of one fan post that went viral, they were fiction that turned into proof. And maybe that's what Dylan Wang and Bai Lu represent now, proof that the best stories don't end when the credits roll. They continue, quietly, in laughter shared over breakfast, in gentle hands that hold even when no one's watching, in a love that doesn't perform but simply exists. As the world moves on to new dramas, new idols, and new distractions, their legacy will linger, not as the loudest love story, but as the truest one. Because some romances don't burn out, they glow. So perhaps the greatest twist in their tale is that after years of spectacle, gossip, and longing, the ending isn't grand at all. It's ordinary, beautifully, tenderly ordinary. And that, in its simplicity, is the most extraordinary thing of all. The internet broke. The fandom cried. For one fleeting moment, the entire C-drama world felt like it was witnessing the ending of a real-life fairy tale. Only this time, it wasn't scripted. It all began with love between fairy and devil, the 2022 fantasy drama that didn't just dominate streaming charts, it created a cultural storm. Dylan Wang's cold yet wounded portrayal of Dongfang Qingsong and Bai Lu's radiant warmth as Xiao Lanhua felt so genuine that fans all over the world began whispering, "Are they really in love?" Every behind-the-scenes clip was analyzed frame by frame. The way Dylan looked at Bai Lu between takes, soft, unguarded, a little too real. The way Bai Lu smiled back, sometimes nervous, sometimes lost in the moment. Their chemistry wasn't just acting, it was alive. Then, as quickly as their on-screen fairy tale ended, both stars retreated into silence. There were denials, distances, rumors of other partners, the usual armor celebrities build to protect themselves from the noise. Yet, fans never stopped believing. Maybe one day, they said, they'll find their way back to each other. And then, years later, out of nowhere, a simple post appeared. "Thank you for walking beside me through every season of my life." Bai Lu, November 1st, 2025. Minutes later, Dylan Wang reposted it with a single ring emoji. No caption. No words. Just silence, and the sound of millions of fans screaming, crying, gasping all at once. The fandom went viral. Twitter, Weibo, Instagram, every feed flooded with their wedding photos. Dylan in a crisp white suit, Bai Lu in a delicate silk gown, her smile brighter than any spotlight. It wasn't a drama anymore. It was real. But behind this perfect fairy tale lies a story few truly know. When they filmed love between fairy and devil, both were standing at crossroads in their careers. Dylan was fighting to prove he wasn't just a pretty face from Meteor Garden. Bai Lu, after years of rejections, was finally breaking through as one of China's most respected actresses. They met as two people exhausted by fame, and somehow found peace in each other. In old interviews, Bai Lu once described Dylan as mischievous, but sincere. Dylan said, "She makes acting feel like breathing." Fans brushed it off then as professionalism, but today, those old clips feel like secret confessions hidden in plain sight. Love in the spotlight is never easy. They faced criticism, jealousy, and endless speculation. Some accused them of using fake chemistry to boost ratings. Others tried pairing them with new co-stars, creating rivalries that never existed. Through it all, they stayed quiet. And maybe that silence was their loudest answer. According to one insider, Dylan proposed privately months before the announcement, in a quiet garden in Seoul, while Bai Lu was filming her latest drama. No photographers. No press. Just two people beneath autumn leaves, promising to build a life away from cameras. It's poetic, really. The man who once ruled the underworld in fiction kneeling before the woman who once made the heavens bloom. What makes their story powerful isn't just the marriage, it's what it means to people. For years, Dylan Wang and Bai Lu represented hope, that even in an industry filled with pressure, image control, and fleeting fame, real love could still exist. Across the world, fans have shared emotional messages. They made me believe in love again. Their story feels like healing. This isn't just celebrity news, it's history. Even their fairy and devil co-stars joined in celebration. Esther Yu commented, "The best ending any fairy could ask for." The show's director reposted a behind-the-scenes photo with the caption, "From fantasy to forever." What started as fiction became a living fairy tale, one that blurred every line between real and real. As fans revisit old scenes, the first touch, the heartbreaking goodbye, they now see not performances, but memories. Moments too sincere to fake. Their marriage is more than a union of two stars. It's a symbol of destiny. The idea that love written in the stars can survive fame, distance, and doubt. During the ceremony, when Bai Lu's bouquet slipped from her hands, Dylan caught it midair, smiling as if it was meant to be. Fans immediately dubbed it the Dongfang catch, a poetic reminder that even gravity couldn't keep them apart. In a world that often feels staged, their love feels like truth. Raw, imperfect, deeply human. They didn't fall in love under the spotlight, they survived it. And maybe that's why this wedding feels different. Because it's not just a happy ending for Dylan and Bai Lu, it's a happy ending for everyone who ever believed love can wait, faith is real, and that sometimes the person meant for you has been beside you all along. So when fans cry tears of joy, it's not just about two idols getting married. It's about closure, healing, and hope, the kind of hope that both real and fictional stories are made of. If you felt something watching their journey, you're not alone. Drop an emoji in the comments if you've been part of the Dylan Bai fandom since love between fairy and devil. Let's celebrate this moment not as fans of a drama, but as witnesses to a love that finally found its home. Because in C-dramas or real life, love doesn't always follow the script. Sometimes it writes its own ending,